And he will, no doubt, be making a lot of headlines, would be my expectation in this competition. Inside this time, Kupchus gets it low and just puts it up and in. Well, that's going to be tough to stop if he does catch the ball that close to the basket. And a nice dump and the finish from Dajinski. Good pass from Tate. And nice drive from Lietkabelis. And the three-point play opportunity. So Dominic Mavra is wheeling and dealing on that play right there, and he draws the foul. So he has an and one coming, and that drive and basket could not have come at a better time for a struggling Lietkabelis team. But good news is their last two possessions in which they've scored have been on right around the basket, the drives. Three-pointer, though, is good from Kalinowski, his second of the game, and the three ball has been the best friend of Antwerp so far. They've got 4. So 12 of their 20 points have come from three-point range. And Dajinski now picks up his second. That's not a good development here late in the first quarter, so he is going to take a seat. Speaking of experience in the Basketball Champions League, in the qualifying anyway, Mavra did play there for Hoventoot last year, and this time the jump shot was good from number 66, Valenskas, Paulius Valenskas. Bako is checked in. Played with a lot of promise, and now Van Wayne scores with the reverse layup. Well, he's sort of having his way down low, getting some openings, and he's got 4 points, 2 of 3 from the floor. A long attempt from Donatas Taurlis off the back of the iron. Kupchus draws the foul and goes to the line, and it really is a case right now of Lietkabelis just trying to stay within striking distance of this Antwerp team that has had a fantastic start. And only makes one of the two, and Van Wijn went up and just took it right off. Took it right off the rim. Chopin in the game as well. Yoder Chopin, number 13. Dribbling behind his back, Victor Sanders launches a three and hits it. Well, these fans in Lithuania are used to seeing a lot of gunslingers. They've produced a few over the years. But right now, Antwerp is a team that is just coming out gunning from long range. And you would think if they finally come out and guard them, get a hand in the face, it's going to open up some lanes. Here's Kupchus, and he's being guarded by Bako, and boy, that was a tough shot. Bako was on the borderline of fouling him, chesting up to the big man from Lietkabelis, but Kupchus gets it to fall. Sanders hands it off to Van Wijn. Van Wijn cross court. Chopin over to Sanders again, puts it up, and this time just grazes the net. He was guarded by Seamus Yasaitis. And might be time for Antwerp to go to plan B. I think Lietkabelis have waken up to the fact that they have some scores from deep. So foul has been called on Kupchas. That's his second. Final minute of the first quarter. Van Wayne. Sanders flies high and gets the third foul on Kupchas. Well, that's a victory in and of itself. You've already drawn 3 fouls on the big fella. He's going to have to go to the bench for the rest of the first half, you would imagine. And very clever move from Sanders. Kupchas has to know he's got to keep his hands up. So Morrison comes back into the game. Well, I think in terms of getting a performance on the road, Moores is not going to be complaining about this start. Interesting also, Christophe Begin, his former Belgium international teammate, one of his assistants over there on that Antwerp bench, as well as Thomas Crabb, also an assistant coach. And now the tough move and the drive in the basket. And then a steal from Yasaitis to prevent the attempt. So with that late basket by Valenskis, it's 27-17, Antwerp on top after 1. There you see the early numbers. Look at the three-point shooting for Antwerp, 5 of 8. Goodness me. Also 5 of 8 inside the arc. 2 of 2 at the line. They are putting the ball in the basket. Lietkabelis struggling. Well, here's some of the highlights from that first quarter. Pelipic did actually hit a deep one. That was their only make from three-point range, Lietkabelis, in that first quarter. And they do have some weapons offensively, but we haven't seen the best of them yet, Lietkabelis. But what we have seen is a really, really strong start from this Antwerp team that has a lot of players, clearly, that can hurt you. I mean, 9 points already from Dudzinski. 8 points from Dudzinski, 6 from Kalinowski, 4 from Paris-Lee, and 4 from Van Wayne. Also, Victor Sanders has 5 points. So some concerned looks on the faces of the fans here in Panevėžys, Lithuania, as Lietkabelis have started and given up 27 points in the first quarter and trailed 27-17. But there's a long way to go, still 3 quarters. Now the bounce pass, and then from Morrison, and it leads to the two-handed jam. So Tarlis will go to the line for a 3-point play. So Tarlis makes the free throw and gets it back now to a 7-point deficit. So this Lietkabelis team can put some points on the board quickly. Paris Lee back in the game for Antwerp. I have to say that Antwerp at that point guard spot looked pretty solid. And that was Bako, a little sloppy. Fortunate to get, or excuse me, that was turning it over was Bako, yep. So he turned it over again. So sloppy possession for him. A deep shot, no good. Now Van Wayne pushes it quickly. Back to Paris Lee. Paris Lee for three. Has a nice ring to it, folks. The sixth three-pointer of the game for Giants. And they go back on top by 10. Lietkabelis with the drive from Morrison. So Chopin with the rebound, then back to Lee. Played his college basketball at Illinois State. Fans watching in America might remember him. Illinois State University. Only just is a young pro, really, Paris Lee. Now the three-pointer, another one falls, and this one from Doncourt, Dennis Doncourt. Well, they're certainly hurting the opponents from deep. Seamus Yasitis lets one fly. Now here's Paris Lee again. And Tireless reaches around and commits the foul. The drive, and Bako doesn't finish, but they're following it up. Getting the ball was Tate. And right now, Antwerp want it more than Lietkabelis. So it has to be a disappointing start for this Lietkabelis crowd. Tate said, I'll take that. Morrison got a lot of ball, but oftentimes you see the arm lowered, and Morris just says, let's just get the win and get out of Dodge. Let's get out of town. But he has to be pleased. Already 35 points. Well, that'll bring some size of relief. Valenskas with that three-pointer. Yasitis with the rebound, hands it off. Entry pass. Morrison just kind of extends his arms. Oh, Moores doesn't want to see his team lose the momentum, so he decides to burn the timeout. if you're the coach of Lietkabelis, you're obviously saying we got to get a hand up in the face, but you also have to be thinking they're not going to shoot this well all game long. But one of the problems is, I mean, they're just wide open. So it's going to be easier to make it. There's the some of the fans. Oh, they're getting into it. Tell you what, you need to come to Lithuania to experience basketball. It's they say it's religion, and it really is. I mean, everybody knows something about basketball. Had the famous Eurobasket staged back in 2011. And here is the drive and the miss from Tate. Oh, they got a good look. Nabra hands it off to Valenskis. Valenskis gets it back from Yasaitis. Three-point attempt. Tate comes up with the rebound. Bako tries to go to work on Morrison. Pump fake, turns to his right. Good footwork, just didn't finish. There's Mavrid. He missed with the jumper the last trip down. Now Bako with the rebound. Tate stepped out of bounds.
Substitution on both teams. Jensen na kartę Brzezinski. Lietkabelis komanda Saulius Kulvietis ir Čemara Wilson.
Brzezinski's back, and that's not good news for the home team. Penetration, the drive, and the basket is good from Valenskis. Bringing some offense. They need it. Another three-pointer, and this one from Donkor, his second of the game. I know the foot was on the line, they say, so that was a two. And back to a 10-point advantage. Nice spin, but no soft touch from Kulvietis. Valenskis reaches in and commits the foul.
Substitution both teams. Antwerp on the court, Lietkabelis komanda Frank Filipich ir Donatas Tavares.
Kalinowski back in the game, inbounds it. Kalinowski, you might remember, played it for Davidson Wildcats in his college days. Here he is releasing that one. And now the push. And good work down low from Yuri Chopin. And Filipich called for the foul. Chopin off target with the first one. And the second. Jamar Wilson, quiet start for him. Entry pass, and the basket from Donatas Taurlis. Lee explodes to the basket, but then just missed it badly. Wilson bounce pass, and Antwerp had Taurlis guarded, but is able to wriggle free, and now all of a sudden just a 6-point lead for the visitors from Belgium. Tate flies in and lays it up and in. And Jamar Wilson, and are they going to count that? I think they are. And the foul on Paris Lee. So the basket is good. Look at it here. I think Dajinski should have let that one go. But see, that's a big factor in this game. The bench play for Lietkabelis has been good. They've provided 24 of their 33 points. So here's Wilson, has the ability to put points on the board in a hurry. So that three-point play cuts that deficit back to just 5 points. Kalinowski drives. Now Van Wayne pulls up, and the mid-ranger no good. Pilipic crosses mid-court. Now has the ball taken away, and it's going to be Tate. It goes in for the two-handed flush. Oh, that's just a sloppy ball handling, and Tate just takes it right away. And the ball goes off the hands of Taurlis. Back over to Antwerp. So Taurlis has played well. He's got 7 points, 1 rebound. But that turnover. Van Wayne going up against Taurlis. Oh, nice move, then passes. And the drive is no good. And the pass up to Yositis. Good hands from Lee. So Lietkabelis call timeout. So we're here in Panevėžys, and it's an intriguing game. You can see, some excellent play from Antwerp offensively, but also Lietkabelis having faced a double-digit deficit. They've shown themselves to be a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. It's going to be Jamar Wilson inbounding the ball. Pilipic over to Yasitis. Pilipic pulls up. Oh, and he's fouled by Kalinowski, taking the jump shot right around the free throw line. Oh, let's see if he got a hand in the face. Looked like pretty decent defense from the former Wildcat. Nevertheless, Pilipic goes to the line and makes the free throw. So now it's a 4-point game. Van Wayne hands it off to Kalinowski. Back to Van Wayne. Tate spins on the baseline. Back to Van Wayne. Shot clock, a little bit of spinning. Oh, Tate with the offensive foul. Raised his left forearm. And now a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of trash talking between Morrison and Tate. Look at this. Boom. Just kind of turned into him, didn't he?
Personal foul. Giants comanda precisamente que às vezes todos 14 fouls. Giants.
Tate, of course, likes that physical play. He played college basketball. Only just 22 years old. Played at Ohio State, the Buckeyes. A very competitive, very physical Big Ten conference. That's what they're known for. And Pilipic misses. Bako says, I'm going to get a rebound. I need to start getting some positive stats on the board. Bako is yet to score. Kalinowski gets into the lane, a little bit of a runner. Tate gets up off the court, runs down the floor to play some D. Now, Wilson. How close can Lietkabelis get here in the first half? Well, there's 13 on the shot clock, 29 on the game clock. 3-point attempt. Good! It's a 1-point game. Lietkabelis have pulled in with Kulavietis' three-pointer. Well, Antwerp like to finish this half on a high. Have to say all the momentum now with Lietkabelis. Lee gets in. Oh, and the follow, and they had some good looks there at the end. At halftime is Telenet Giants Antwerp on top 41-40 over Lietkabelis.
Ateikite čia, pasuksite ratą ir tikrai laimėsite vieną iš puikių prizų.
Well, the 7-12 threes for Antwerp had them out in front, but look at that now. 13 makes inside the arc for Lietkabelis, and they've also improved their three-point shooting. And interesting stats when you consider team comparison, but Valenskis has 9 points to lead Lietkabelis. Gudzinski has 8 for Antwerp, 4 rebounds for Van Wayne, and 1 block. And the leading scorers for each team. Well, it's opening night in the Basketball Champions League regular season, and lo and behold, we've got ourselves a barn burner. 41-40, Telenet Giants Antwerp on top. Well, here are the some of the first half highlights. We'll let you digest these. We'll be right back for the start of the second half.
Lietkabelis. Change from Tate.
Well, you're looking at some of the highlights here. 41-40 on Antwerp on top of Lietkabelis, but they were up by double digits at one point. Their biggest lead, in fact, 15. So you have to say the way that Lietkabelis have come back bodes well for them in that second half. Antwerp Giants not able to close down the hosts there late in the second quarter. They went on a run, hit some three-pointers. Kulivietis hitting that one, and you had Jamar Wilson. There's Kulivietis. If he can get open, a dangerous player. But it was 33-20 with 8:19 remaining in the second quarter. And 35-23 with 7.5 minutes remaining. And Lietkabelis just came right back.
аплодисменты. Сисачните мусу поскутили, что вы хорошие тему дали,
Well, 41-40, Antwerp on top of Lietkabelis here in this first Basketball Champions League game for both of these teams. Telenet Giants Antwerp, of course, making it through the qualifying rounds. But in fact, they won the second qualifying round game, tie rather, against Red October Cantu and booked their place in the competition. Lietkabelis showing pretty good staying power here. I mean, you know, they were down by 15, didn't panic. They've come back and shaved 14 points off that deficit. Well, who has been doing the damage? A lot of it has been the bench play from Lietkabelis. And when you consider coming off the bench was Kupchus, although he has 3 fouls, he's got 5 points. And Mavra 3. Karolis has 7 points off the bench, and Palias Valenskis has 9 points off the bench. So Moores, what will he have said to his players at halftime? Try to sharpen their focus, make sure they are not going to leave disappointed, because they certainly, when you have got the 15-point lead, you would think you're putting yourself in pretty good position to get a win. But as you know, with the shot clock and the old days, that might have been the case. But now you see teams come back all the time from deficits of 15, even 20 points. So you can never, especially a team in Lithuania, they will turn on the afterburners and come after you quickly. They will quicken the tempo. They will get hot from deep. They will play exciting basketball and give themselves a chance to win. So folks, we're in Panevėžys, Lithuania. It's the Lietkabelis team hosting Telenet Giants Antwerp in the Group C opener for both of these teams. Okay, third quarter underway here in Panevėžys, Lithuania. Lietkabelis on trailing 41-40 against Antwerp. Antwerp starts things off, and Deshaun Tate misses with a short little jump hook. Kuczynski led the way for Antwerp in that first half. Now, oh, whoa, the rejection out on the perimeter by Tate, and he goes up strong, so he's bringing it. He's bringing the energy, and that's good news for Antwerp, getting steals and points and blocks. Wilson passes back outside. Kulivietis. Now Van Wayne. Kicks it out right. Now Lee. Wilson picks up the foul. His first of the game. Wilson had a couple moments where he did something in that first half. Got 5 points. There's Kalinowski, another three-pointer. Tyler Kalinowski. So Antwerp go back in front, 46-40. Decidus hasn't scored yet. Lietkabelis rims out, good rebound from Morrison. And as he tries to go back up, he's fouled. Kalinowski looks at the ref and says, hey, he was down, he wasn't going up. Watch this, he gets the rebound. Look at them. Yeah, Kalinowski thought he had his hands in there where he wouldn't have been shooting. You can understand where he's coming from there. But it looked like Morrison was trying to get into the motion cleverly. There's Yukas, number 64. I don't think he'll be playing tonight. And Morrison makes the first one. Played on that Fraport Skyliners team a few years ago that was coached by Gordy Herbert. That was just loaded with talent. I won the FIBA Europe Cup. You might remember that was played in France. Chalon. He only makes one of two, and Van Wayne with the rebound. Dudzinski. Quick pass to the corner. Pump fake from Lee. Bounce pass to Tate. And then he has it taken away. Morrison goes to work on Dudzinski. He had to move, just didn't finish. Now he gets it back. Good hustle from Lietkabelis. Morrison has to put it up. Relatively weak effort there. And Lee does a good job of pushing it quickly. And Dudzinski does a great job of getting it back. Both teams struggling a little bit here. And Jashawn Tate is fouled. Well, Beliscus looked like he had a lot of ball there as well. See, so those things even out over the course of the game. Here's Lee. Kalinowski, another attempt, and Dudzinski saying, don't call the foul yet, let me make it first and then call the foul. And the referee just smiles and says, you're complaining because you want the foul called all the time. We call it and you're still complaining. Look at this. It's Kalinowski, and that was Morrison. Well, they were tangled up a little bit. This is where it's all about, folks. The Basketball Champions League. A long way to go for both of these teams as they try to get far into the season. But what a shot from Tate. He has really supplied a spark tonight. You can only wonder if this will be the start of a long journey for the likes of Lietkabelis to get into the postseason and to go far in that. Kulevietis misses. Of course, Telenet Antwerp Giants, that they started back in the qualifying rounds. And the pass into the corner, Tate does a little shake and bacon. Tries to put his man in the spin cycle, gets it back, goes in, takes the contact. Look at him fight for it. Kalinowski, or Dudzinski gets it, and Antwerp Giants come away with nothing on that. Good defense in the end from Lietkabelis, at least to keep the points off the board. Now the drive from Morrison, he gets rejected but fouled. Boy, Morrison's giving everything, isn't he? Here he is, goes strong, takes the contact, and Van Wayne does a good job of getting the block. So there's no three-point play. In terms of sheer talent, potential, it's tantalizing thinking of Hans Van Wayne. I mean, he has got a lot of upside if you look at number 10 play for Telenet Giants Antwerp. A lot of solid Belgian players coming through the Belgian league, the Belgian teams, and even playing for other teams outside the country, making it to the national team. Morrison has had his struggles at the free throw line. So makes 1 of 2 on both of his trips. Kalinowski. Kalinowski seems almost like a better shooter. Oh, look at Paris Lee, almost with a steal. Good hustle from Morrison. Kalinowski almost seems like a better shooter when he's behind the arc and he's got his feet set. There is Yasitis. And that second effort from Yasitis convinces the ref that he was fouled. A good scrap. So Tarolas comes in for Morrison, who's looking winded. Bako comes back into the game for Antwerp. Mavra misses. And Pilipic rather, hustles, shields Sanders from the ball. Ball goes out of bounds. Look at this hustle. Well, didn't really shield him, did he? Just Sanders couldn't quite catch up to it. Pilipic. That was Dominic Mavra. And the three-pointer is good. Valenskas has got his stroke working now, folks. 12 points, that's a game high, and 2 of 3 from three-point range. Lee puts up a little left-handed jumper or push shot. Valenskas on the break, good, another one. And back to a 1-point game. And if Antwerp want to find any player from deep, they need to find that man, Valenskas. The only problem is Pilipic can get hot as well, so it could be a case of picking your poison with this Lietkabelis team. They're going to give the 3 up. Lietkabelis appealing for a travel. Bako commits the foul on Mavra. Well, Mavra doing a great job and being rewarded for his tenacity getting to the basket, and that's Bako's second foul. Hey, when I saw Bako play last summer for Belgium at the FIBA Eurobasket in Istanbul, he did show a lot of potential, but again, it's not just about height. You know, he's got a good coach to work with him, Christoph Began, just to have some good moves down that low post. And Bako right now doesn't seem to really be in the flow of the offense per se. Here he is, being guarded by Tarolas. Tate, he knows where to go. He goes right to the hoop and misses. Valenskas. Kulivietis for 3, and guess who has buried the long one? So that gives them their biggest lead of the game, 4 points. Kulivietis. So first, it was Valenskas, and now Kulivietis. And Lietkabelis trailed by 15 points in the first half and have come back to take the lead. Lietkabelis now 6 of 14 from deep, 13 of 28 inside the arc. Yeah, that's not a bad stat for Lietkabelis either. 15 assists on the night. So what do you do with Valenskis and Kulivietis? I mean, they are finding their range from deep. And that really is, you got to get a hand in the face. Now Lee has to put up a prayer, and Bako gets his first big contribution. Oh, couldn't get it to go, but very good from Bako. And Kulivietis commits the foul. No, it was on Tarolis. He gets his second foul. So Bako at the line. You know, looking at Valenskis play tonight, you just have to think that it's only going to be a matter of time before he becomes a part of that Lithuania national team. He's played at the Under-20 European Championship. 2015 averaged 12.3 points per game. And good play, Bako starting to become a factor down low. Interesting, they seem to have more size now, Antwerp. Van Wayne spins, going to work on Yasitis and doesn't get the friendly roll. Good D from Yasitis. Mavra. And a little bit of contact. Foul called on Chopin. Kulivietis makes the first. And the second one is good as well. Kulivietis also hasn't featured in that Lithuanian national team yet, but showing some signs that, you know, with 2 windows remaining in the World Cup qualifiers, maybe he would get a call up, as well as Valenskis. Just a lot of it depends how they play in this competition, as well as the Lithuanian League, the LKL, for the 4-point lead, and the foul called. And the passionate fans of Lietkabelis letting them know what they thought about that call. And surely that wasn't a foul on Tarolis. Bako makes the first. No, it was called on Mindaugas Kučas. So he's got 4 fouls. Bako only makes 1 of 2. Mavra. Guarded by Sanders. 3-point lead for Lietkabelis. What a great game we've got. Less than 12 minutes remaining now. Alley-oop pass! Here we go! It's takeoff for Carolus. He went back door, and there was no stopping him. Three-point attempt from Sanders.
Lietkabelis. Substitution both teams. Chance on the court, David Duzinski. Lietkabelis командує Майк Моррисон. Полусмена Домінік Мавра. Мавра.
I'll tell you what, Lietkabelis showing a lot of firepower here for the last 12 minutes or so. And now up by 7 points. 81% as well. That bodes well for their chances. 13 of 16 at the line. What coach would not take that? Oh. Kalinowski brought a little bit of rain, but didn't get to the three-pointer. Well, they were stroking the three-pointer in that first quarter, especially when they had 5. They're 6 of 9 at one point, but now that is not the stat that's thriving. Carolus! Well, the big fella steps outside and shows he's got that in his game as well. Boy, what a performance by him tonight off the bench. 12 points, 4 rebounds. 10-point lead. And that shot was vital by Dunkor. As now it's Antwerp that are trying to stay within striking distance. Mavra. Shot clock winding down. Oh, and they called the foul with just a second remaining on Duzinski. The former Holy Cross forward. Well, defense did not want to give away the three-pointer. I think they want to see if the foul was committed before the buzzer sounded. Duzinski says, I'm just trying to play D. I'm trying to move my feet, trying to keep in front of Mavra. And Mavra just kept attacking. No, I'm not sure. I'm only guessing they were looking at the time on the clock, had it sounded. Maybe they're trying to see how much time is left. Well, big play by Mavra to, okay, so they said there's 0.4 seconds left, so not really enough time to get anything going the other way. shots good. And that is it at the end of the third quarter. Antwerp, well, they still got 10 minutes. But it is going to be an uphill battle, no doubt about it, against this Lietkabelis team that has the bit between the teeth right now. 14 of 30 inside the arc. They're 7 of 15 from deep. Just 2 less makes now in Antwerp. And look at how impressive they are at the free throw line. 15 of 18, more than twice as many free throws they've made. Well, this is turning into a really good night for Lietkabelis if they can hold on and win, having trailed by 15 points. Right now, they've already got a couple players in double figures with Valenskis 15 points. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range. Tarolis has 12 points. And what's interesting is those 2 players have come off the bench tonight for Coach Kazoulis. So also, Dominic Mavra has 9 points off the bench. And, you know, we highlighted certain players, and we didn't highlight all of them, but, you know, moving forward, you wonder if they may indeed be the players that would end up in that starting lineup. Not that it matters, just goes to illustrate that you can have a seismic impact on a game, whether you start or whether you come off the bench. Doesn't matter. Still can play a lot of minutes. Here's Morrison. Oh, Morrison just got inside, composed, went up strong. 12 points, the lead. Dudzinski hands it off to Paris Lee. And Mavra called for the foul. Lee gets inside after going baseline. Valenskis. Mavra. Now the ball, the pass by Tarolis intercepted. Yasitis gets his first foul. And Lee blocked. Vitanis Lietkabelis is coming back into the game. And Dudzinski is fouled by Morrison. Lee. Kalinowski back outside. Oh, the bank is open. It was a long 2. And that was Dennis Donkor. Gets it back to a 10-point deficit. Giants, Telenet, Giants, Antwerp, no, they've got to get some stops here. And now the ball thrown out of bounds. Back over to the visitors. Now Kulivietis comes back into the game for Morrison. So that's bad news here for Giants, and that was a good call. Went right off of Tarolis' hands. Kulivietis has played pretty well tonight. 9 turnovers now on Lietkabelis. Oh, beautiful touch pass and the finish from Dudzinski. Boy, what a great pass that was from Chopin. Yuri Chopin. Or Chopin. Kulivietis right off the bench. Buries the three-pointer. Again, Dudzinski, nice low post move for him. Antwerp have to get some stops. But this Lietkabelis team is playing with some conviction here. Three-pointer, Valenskas, excuse me, inside the arc for Valenskas. So used to seeing him shoot the threes. Kalinowski, another three-pointer for him. To an 8-point deficit. Boy, it's been an excellent shooting night from deep, really. Dunkor annoyed by the exaggerated movements of, I think it was Valenskas after the foul. Tarolis and Mavra go to the bench. Valenskas turns in the lane. No, you got to get the rebound if you're Antwerp. Good hustle from Lietkabelis. Valenskas gets in the lane again, puts it up. He's got some moves, doesn't he? Born to thrill, that's what I say. And this time Tate fouled out on the perimeter. And now it's dunked by Tate. The timeout on the court here. Antwerp showing signs of a comeback. "17 points for Valenskas. It's been a good night for him, and he's not finished. Dudzinski has the 8 rebounds. Tate, 13 points. So Dudzinski Van Wijn and Tate in that game for Antwerp, as well as Paris Lee. 6-point game. And Jamar Wilson. Valenskis again. You can't leave him open, folks. He's going to knock it in. Boy, he is just an out-and-out scorer. Valenskis. And Van Wijn gets it, puts it up and in. And Paris Lee almost steals the ball off of Wilson. Valenskis, entry pass. Kulivietis has it taken away by Lee. Entry pass, Dujinski gets it, and fouled from behind by Lietkabelis. Well, it's anybody's bet. You know, this Lietkabelis team is, they've been terrific, really, but Antwerp are not going away. So Dujinski makes the first one. We're at number 23. And the second. So it's back now to a 4-point deficit. And Lietkabelis have been fouled. It was Lietkabelis was fouled by Tate. So the second personal. Of course, Lietkabelis already over the limits. So the free throw line is going to come into play. There's no doubt about it for Antwerp. They've done okay at the free throw line tonight, so that's probably a bonus. There's Tate. Gets it to Kulivietis. So a good drive from Lietkabelis. Gets the assist. Bako. And, well, not really in the flow of the offense on that one. Valenskis. And they dodged the bullet there with Lietkabelis having to put one up just to beat the shot clock. Van Wijn inside to Bako, and he was fouled first by Morrison and was in out of position and got blocked by the rim. Look at this. Oh yeah, Morrison got him clearly on his right arm. Carolis now comes back into the game. So he's had a breather, and he's caused a lot of problems out there for Antwerp tonight. Second one is good as well from Bako. Four-point game. Can this Lietkabelis team continue to score at this end? Because Antwerp are scoring at the other end. Maverick drives in. So the foul called on Tate. 3 fouls on Antwerp now, new 14. Shot clock winding down. Wilson hands it off. Tarolas misses. Good D from Dudzinski. Tate hands it off to Bako. Oh, he gets rejected by Tarolas. And now an unsportsmanlike foul called on Lee. This is perhaps the sequence of the game that could seal it. Look at this. Goodness gracious, not in my house, Tarolas says. And then Lietkabelis was fouled. Actually, the unsportsmanlike was not on Lee, but Tate. So Lietkabelis at the line. Oh, does not make the free throw. Got a chance to almost ice it with the free throws and keeping possession. And he makes one of two. Some future Lietkabelis players there, perhaps. Guess you'd have to wait another 12 to 15 years before that happens. Tarolas. Tarolas, oh, it was only a one-point trip down the floor in the end. Now Lee. Kalinowski like to get an opening. Funwine has it. Dudzinski. Funwine entry pass to Bako. Uses his body to good effect, and that was much better from Bako. Well, how big was that previous trip down the floor where they got just 1 point? Tarolas this time goes in and gets rejected by Dudzinski. Antwerp refusing to give up the ghost. What a contest on the opening night of the Basketball Champions League regular season. Mavra, well, puts up a difficult shot, and Funwine not able to rebound it, but Bako was able to bend over and pick it up. Kalinowski, and a foul called on Tarolas. And boy, Antwerp showing tremendous resolve here. It looked like the game was about to go off the rails for them after Tate's unsportsmanlike foul, but they have shown tremendous resiliency. And Tarolas, that's his third foul, and obviously already over the limit. So this is 2 free throws coming for Dudzinski. Something tells me Valencius might have another big shot in him tonight. And I think he probably knows it. Boy, the free throw line tonight has been excellent, really, for both teams. So Dudzinski makes both free throws and gets it back to a 1-point game. As a team, Antwerp are 13 of 16 at the line. That's an impressive 81.25%. Lietkabelis shooting 80%, 16 of 20 at the line. Valencius. Kulivietis turns and flying in for the rebound. Oh, and the ball goes over to Antwerp. I thought Kalinowski hit it out of bounds. So did the fans. Look at this, Kulivietis missed it. Here's Kalinowski. Well, no, the referee had a good angle, so it could have been Morrison, in fact. Antwerp, incredibly, now with a chance to take the lead. Pierce Lee looks down low. Kalinowski goes in, gets it to Bako. Bako puts it up, gets it back, and he was fouled from behind by Morrison, so that is 2 more free throws for Bako. So Bako 5 of 6 from the line tonight. And he's going back to the free throw line. And Morrison has fouled out of the game as well. Folks, we've got ourselves a barn burner. And Bako goes to the line. I'll tell you what, he was quiet for about 30 minutes of this game, but he has really picked it up in this 4th quarter, and he has tied the game at 76. He's got 8 points, 6 of them coming at the free throw line. But he only makes 1 of 2 on that trip, and we are tied. 1:11 to go. Who is going to step up and hit the big shot now? Well, Valencius passes it back out to Kulivietis. Oh, and it's Kulivietis with a runner. Nice drive and finish. Van Wijn to Bako. Terrific play. Van Wijn and Bako, both teams getting good shots. Final 36 seconds. Valencius. Oh, good move. Oh, he almost had an and 1 coming, but Bako commits the foul. Valencius has shot the ball exceptionally well tonight. He is 8 of 12 from the floor. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range, but he has not attempted a free throw. And this, my friends, is money time. First one is true. Well, did somebody say he's got ice running in his veins? 80-78. Oh, this has been, for the competition itself, you have to say this has been a great start to the Basketball Champions League Group C. As you look at the leading scores for Antwerp, a great game coming down to the wire. Both teams making plays coming down the stretch. Kajulis calling the plays. Look at Valencius with the 21 points. Kulivietis with 15. Tarolas with 12. It's really been kind of the, you know, in terms of the names, it's been the no names that have been getting the job done tonight. For Lietkabelis. I mean, and as for Antwerp, well, you know, Bako has been the man here in the 4th quarter. He's got 10 points. He's only 2 of 7 from the floor, but he's got 7 rebounds, a steal, and a block. And Van Wijn has played well. 6 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. So even though he's not scoring a lot, he's helping his team in other ways. The final 20 seconds here. Kalinowski goes in. Oh, he lays it up and in. What a move. The defense from Lietkabelis extended, did not want to give away a three-pointer. And Kalinowski said, don't mind if I do. I'll drive right to the left and make a layup. So Lietkabelis calls another timeout. Morrison's already gone. Kupchas with 4 fouls, and Tarolas has 3. But Kupchas hasn't really been much of a factor. Obviously, he got the 3 fouls in the first half. And Morrison is gone, but you know, going back to that point, the most effective players tonight have been Tarolas, Valenskis, and Kulivieris. Tell you, when they say in basketball you got to play the whole 40 minutes to win the game, they are right. I mean, this game is coming down to the very last second. You can just feel it. Somebody after this game is going to have to go check into the Heartbreak Hotel, because it has been a hard-fought game. You don't like losing them ever. You definitely don't like losing them when it's a close one. When you can look back and think, if only we'd made this play, we could have won the game. So they advance the ball, and Valenskis inbounds it to Mavra. Now Valenskis has it. Antwerp also over the limit now, so they can't foul. Valenskis shakes and bakes, gets to the lane, puts it up! Oh! Oh, and then the walk from Kulivieris. And I would have put the house on Valenskis making that shot. But he hasn't, and that has left now Antwerp time to potentially hit a game winner. Although you never know. This game, you would think most likely will go to overtime, but look at the shooting, folks. Been excellent from deep.
Lietkabelis.
Well, Dujinski comes out. What is the play that Roland Moores has drawn up over there on the sidelines? So they're going to inbound it. Fun wine with Yasitis. And they get it up. Oh, and they had a good look. But Chopin's jump shot hits off the rim. And folks, it's free basketball. 5 more minutes coming. Just what the doctor ordered for you thrill seekers in the Basketball Champions League. 19 of 43 for Lietkabelis inside the arc. I'll let you look at all the stats. Four blocks for Antwerp. Look at those 12 turnovers for Lietkabelis, just 6 for Antwerp. Kalinowski, that was a big basket that got Antwerp closer. And that was the shot, again, Valenskis, you would have thought would win the game. And then even the putback attempt. Oh, it was Tarola, excuse me. It wasn't Kulivieris. So they had 2 excellent looks. And then that was not a bad look right there as well from Chopin, but it was just a little short. Well, Kupchis is going to come back into the game. Pilipic also coming back into the game, interestingly. And it did seem as if Lietkabelis, their guys perhaps a little tired and needing a break. So Coach Gintaras Kajulis decides to make a couple of important substitutions. Lee now, Paris Lee brings it forward. Jasinski's still in the game. So Kupchus is in there guarding Bako. Kalinowski drives in, gets it to Bako. Oh boy, they had that worked to perfection, only for Lietkabelis to reach in and knock it away. Bako couldn't quite catch it, get both hands on it and go up with it. But now the good hands from Paris Lee. Excuse me, from Paris Lee to force the turnover. So 2 steals to start the quarter. Now Lee, short, and Kupchus hands it off to Jamar Wilson. Kupchus turns, puts it up, and can't get it to go. The foul called on Jasinski. 4 fouls on him. Well, Kupchus, you would have thought, would have been far more influential in this game at the start. He wasn't, but here he is playing money minutes in overtime, and he makes the first free throw. He's been plagued. He got the foul trouble. It just kind of took him out of the game, made him a non-factor. But he makes both free throws. So a good start to the fourth quarter here. We're now under 4 minutes, and it's Lietkabelis leading it. Three-pointer from Jasinski, and Van Wyen tried to keep it alive for Antwerp. That ball went in and out. Wilson goes between the legs. Pilipic puts it up, and ball goes back to Antwerp. Usidis says, show me some respect. I'm a veteran. Give me a call, ref. Here it is. He was trying to get it. Looked like Van Wyen might have given him a little bit of a nudge, but you're not going to make that call. Kalinowski. Van Wyen. Now Paris Lee. Jasinski for 3. And another one off target. Kuleviertis in low to Kupchus. And denied. Van Wyen not able to get the rebound, but the ball goes out of bounds and over to Telenet Giants Antwerp. Well, definitely Kupchus is the man. I mean, Kajulis wants to get him some touches in that low post. And it paid dividends the first time with the 2 free throws, but not that time. And now Lee can't get it to go. The ball simply will not go down for the Giants. Pilipic over to Kula. Oh, the slip. Now it's Usidis. And his attempt off the back of the iron. Bako, though, couldn't quite get it. They get it to Wilson. He puts it up and scores with the left hand. That's a tough break for Telenet Giants Antwerp. Looked like they were going to get it with Kuleviertis when he slipped. Now Bako kept it alive. And a foul has been called with 1:43 to go here in this fourth quarter. It looks like Van Wyen perhaps caught an errant hand to the face.
hashtag Domini Mafra.
So Lietkabelis picks up the foul. Van Wijn makes the first one. And the second. 8 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. On the bad night's work for Van Wijn. Lietkabelis. And Cooks just kept it alive, and now Antwerp again with another chance to tie or take the lead. It's going to be Lee. He ties it. Goodness gracious. He lays it up off the glass and in. It was so sweet. We're going to look at it again. Mavra. Now to Kupchus. Oh, it gets rejected by Van Wijn. Van Wijn said, I'm not having it. Then Lietkabelis misses, and now soaring high for the rebound is Kalinowski. Antwerp, oh, and they get the alley-oop pass, and Dujinski makes it. This Giants team refuses to give in, folks. They have come back to take the lead. Now three-pointer from Mavra. And the foul on Kupchus on the rebound, but a long way to go. 43.1 seconds remaining. A lot of drama still to be played out here.
Fifth personal foul.
But Kalinowski is at the line, and boy, the game of basketball can change so quickly. Lietkabelis had a relatively comfortable edge in this fourth quarter. They were up 84-80. Whoa, boy, a little bit of love from the rim there. And now it's a 4-point lead for Antwerp. Velenskis passes back out. The ball ends up with Pilipic. So he hits the three-pointer. So Velenskis, again, the playmaker. Although that ball was actually hit out by the Antwerp defense. Into Bako. Oh, that was a tough play. Good play by, I think, Pilipic to knock it away. They battle for the rebound. Van Wijn gets it. He gets it up the lane. It's going to be Bako for the jam. 7.3 seconds remaining. And Antwerp Giants with a 3-point lead. Lietkabelis is going to go to the bench and try to drop a play, but here it is again. Bako says, take that. And he hangs on the rim. And thankfully doesn't pull down the backboard. Paris Lee says, take this big fella. Maybe the only thing he could have done better was to catch it and wait a couple of seconds to take some more time off the clock. But he's not going to do that, is he? Well, it's very simple, folks. Lietkabelis needed a three-pointer to tie it. And the question now, what do you do? I mean, I feel confident that Roland Moores is going to have his guys foul and not allow the three-point attempt. Look at that number, 49 points for Lietkabelis coming from the bench. Boy, what a game. I mean, the highs and the lows, the runs. Basketball is a game of runs, and Lietkabelis went on a huge run for a long period of time, but Antwerp just refused to give in that fourth quarter. They ended up forcing overtime. And even after falling behind in overtime, they've come back to take a 3-point lead. Will they commit the foul now? Or are they going to just let him take it? Oh, no, they're going to let him take the three. Oh, and it almost went in. They almost paid the price, but they have not. And the look on the face of Rowan Moores is like, you have got to foul him before he shoots the three-pointer. So that tells me right there that the Giants were instructed to commit the foul before they got into the shooting motion. And Tate is going to have to go back and look at the replay of this game and hear it from his coach. Now, Kalinowski, to ice it, needs to make this one, although I think the rule is with less than 0.3, there's no chance. Anyway, there's no chance now. What a game, folks. What a game. 91-87. Telenet Giants Antwerp have won in overtime over Lietkabelis. A real Group C thriller on opening night of the Basketball Champions League. Well, there you have it. Look at the numbers. I mean, feast your eyes on that one. But the free throws in the end, you can see where Antwerp, they trailed in that regard for the longest period, but they made up ground. They basically finished even. Such an even game, no surprise. The game went to overtime. 13 turnovers for Lietkabelis. And the 5 blocks, and it was really interesting to watch how certain players came to the fore at different times for this Antwerp team, as well as for the Lietkabelis team. And boy, I mean, Van Wijn was terrific overall. Bako ended up being big for Antwerp as well, but it was a real team effort, and Lietkabelis have to think that they let one get away tonight. I mean, they trailed by 15 points. They dug in, they came back, they played with a real conviction, a real sense of purpose. They took the lead. It looked like it was their game to win, but Antwerp simply did not allow them to pull away. And Lietkabelis will have to just take the positives out of this game and get ready for their league games of the weekend, and they get ready to play again next week. Just a wonderful, wonderful game of basketball in the end. And you saw the Lietkabelis players going and thanking the fans for coming out tonight. Well, it was, you know, when Valencius had the chance, probably the player of the game, to win it at the end of the game, and he missed the jump shot, you had to fear the worst for this Lietkabelis team. But then they came back and they took the lead. But anyway, these are the second half highlights. Tarolas had some big moments. That was one of them there with the dunk and then the three-pointer. But this was just a real gritty effort from Antwerp. Anytime you can win on the road in the Basketball Champions League, that is a huge result. And in the 3 years, this is the third season, in fact, for the Basketball Champions League, I honestly do not think I've seen a more gritty effort from a team from Belgium come out and hold it together, overcome the adversity, and win on the road in this type of situation. I mean, this is a real stepping stone for this Antwerp team this season, and also Belgian basketball as they look to make an impact in this Basketball Champions League. And you really have to appreciate the play. Again, different players at different times. Bako came out and really got it going in the second half, or in the fourth quarter rather, and ended up finishing Bako with 12 points, 7 rebounds. Van Wijn had the 8 points, the 11 rebounds, the 3 assists, the steal, and the 2 blocks, and he had an efficiency rating of 21. He was utterly fantastic, Hans Van Wijn. Shows how you can really impact a game when you don't have to score. Dujinski was big, Kalinowski was big. Jashawn Tate had the 13 points, brought a lot of energy. That was the play there that gave him the 3-point lead late. And remember, Moores, I'm pretty sure, wanted Tate to foul at the end so they could not attempt a three. He didn't, and they rode their luck as the Lietkabelis team missed the three-pointers. So that's it, folks. Wonderful contest. Thanks for joining us. Telenet Giants Antwerp win it 91-87 at Lietkabelis after overtime.